Hello. All right, let's think that is working. Hey there. All right, so today I'm just going to transfer this little fern into a bigger pot so it can grow some more. And I'm going to talk a little bit about stuff you can grow in your apartment or in your dorm room. It's pretty simple, kind of hard to kill it, and gives you a little bit of fresh food. Recently spent a bunch of money on some house plants because I do not have garden space to go outside and do some gardening. So, all right. All right, gonna do that first. All right, I can use this to scoop out the dirt a little better. Put that in there. This is just a small fern I bought when it was still winter, because winter lasted forever for whatever reason this year. Blame it on global warming, blame it on, I don't know, the Canadians. All right, put that in there, pack it a bit better. All right, and gonna throw some water in there. Give a heavy dose of water just so the roots kind of wake up a little bit. So went from small little pot into something a little bit larger. Give it some room to grow, spread out. All right, get it over here so it gets a little bit of light, but not too much. All right, a little bit more dirt. Gardening is actually a great way to kind of fight the blues. If you find that you have a hard time getting out of bed, it's nice to have something, whether it's a pet, a simple pet, maybe, you don't have the time to do much with like a cat or dog, what most people do, or you don't have the money because pets can get expensive and you have to give them a certain amount of time. Whether it is, cleaning up after them, making sure they're fed, giving them the affection and attention that all animals really need. Yeah, not everybody's got the time for that. So plants are a good option. It gives you a reason to get out of bed. Even if you just come over, you see how they're doing. If you got some dead bits, little bit of light pruning, making sure they get watered every day. It's a really simple thing, but it's nice to have something that is alive that, depends on you. You can't just ignore it and it'll be fine, because then, what's the point of having it, whether it be a pet, a plant? So it's kind of the mindset I was in when I started getting houseplants and doing some gardening. But let's actually talk about some food you can grow, even if it's just on a windowsill. You don't need a garden per se, or an outdoor space or a greenhouse. Let me see. All right. Right here, I just bought a pot from Lowe's, and it was a couple bucks. Not a pot, but actually just a bucket. So, all right. Got actually this is garlic. I took garlic cloves and almost lost that bag. That would have been messy. All right, I'm gonna have to move that over. So garlic cloves, if you really like garlic, which I mean, if you're German, you probably like garlic. Um, when they start sprouting, you can probably see that little bit right there. That's a good sign that you can put them in the ground. And if you take off the dried skin, they'll really, it'll peel right off. I typically just toss that in the dirt too, so it slowly breaks down. A little bit of composting. Uh, I know composting tends to have the idea attached to it that it's going to start stinking and smelling, but not really. I mean, if you start throwing in eggshells and bones and scraps of meat, and you're using worms to help break everything up instead of just the microfauna, the small insects and bugs that are in the soil already, in the microbes. If you use those to break them down, then it's not going to stink. That, and you can just open a window. But yeah, if you peel off all the dried skin, right down there, you'll probably see, can't see it on here probably, but there's tiny little dried roots that when you put it in soil, or you let it soak in water for a little bit, they'll start softening up and start absorbing those nutrients, and it'll turn into, these stalks. And if I remember correctly, garlic takes about 90 days to, or yeah, 90 days to really take hold. And typically, from what I was reading, it doesn't actually produce a new bunch of cloves until the next year. But even as this green garlic is actually pretty good. You can eat it just like this. You can just rip it off and have it. You know, it's just it's a real subtle garlic flavor. Goes great on eggs. It doesn't have that same burn that raw garlic in clove form has. Is really gentle. I like garlic and I like strong garlic, but eating something like this, I don't know how some people do it. It's beyond me. But this is pretty good. It goes good on really anything. But I tried it on some eggs yesterday and it was phenomenal. Just some scrambled eggs, butter, onion, and green garlic chopped up and put on top. It definitely adds something extra to it. I also have scallions or green onions. These, I spent 75 cents, you know, 2 months ago, and I've just, you can grow them in just water. If you get if you have an old jar like this, just clean it off, fill it up with some water and just plop them right in there. They'll start regrowing. I would say just maybe leave an inch and a half on the stalk above the roots, and it'll start regrowing. It'll sprout new roots, and pretty soon you'll have a bunch of brand new scallions that you can eat. I know it's only 75 cents, but It'll be a bit fresher. You can literally just cut it as you use it. You don't have to really worry about it going bad, because if you buy them at the store, they'll, they'll only last so long. Um, so you just put them in water and cut them as you need them, really. And I've cut these down a few times, and they keep coming back. And that was just with water. So I decided to put them in a little bit of dirt to grow, and they seem to be doing quite a bit better. So it's nothing fancy. It's not like I'm growing trees and tons of stuff, but it's simple things you can do. And it's nice to see, like, even if it's just from a clove of garlic, it's nice to see the fruits of your labor. Not a lot of labor, but still, it's nice to grow stuff. It feels accomplishing. I actually threw some apple seeds in here too a little while ago, and one of them actually sprouted up and keeps growing. Um, Apple trees, if you buy them from the store and use those seeds, they typically don't produce the same type of apple because of the way apples are cultivated. They typically turn to crab apples, which I've always heard a lot of people say that they don't eat those, but I used to eat them all the time growing up. They're not, in large quantities, and they're smaller, but they're a good snack. They're really tart. Um, because of that tartness, you could probably use them in an apple pie. Take some sweet apples, take some crab apples, and mix them together. Get a nice mix of sweet and tart. Anyway, I got some other stuff I've been growing that's surprisingly easy. Here's one. That is a bell pepper plant. I love bell peppers, so I figured I'd save the seeds from the store one time, and so far, it's doing pretty well. Who knows how that's going to turn out, though? Not all plants will actually bear fruit. They might blossom, they might, grow really nice, but they're not going to bear any fruit or uh, fruit or vegetable. They're like cucumbers. They are picked before the seeds are ready to regrow. So you can't buy a cucumber at a store and regrow from it. Other plants you can. I mean, it's not like I went out and bought more seeds. I just, instead of throwing them away, I decided to save on, see if I could grow them. And it's really cool to grab something from a seed and watch it grow. Ooh, I'm gonna grab this plant because this one's got. Oh, all right, here we go. Look at that. Gonna have to move this up. There's a bunch of little flowers you can see. Look at that. There's little flowers that are starting to blossom on this pepper plant. So that's something you can do, if you feel like you don't have a lot of accomplishment in your life, or things aren't going too well, grow a plant. It's not that difficult. And yeah, all I did was just put the seed in water and then put it in some dirt, and it started growing. And it's hard to explain the feeling it gives you when you take something from seed into plant, but it's good. I recommend everybody give it a shot. And it's not like you got much else to do. Right now, I know all over the country, people are, you know, being told that they should stay home. So why not try growing some plants? All right, and one final one. I got basil. Mm, purple basil, actually. Um, Really simple to grow. Again, you get it fresh, uh, which is it's so much better than buying it at the store. Uh, the plan is to let this basil grow big enough so I can get seeds from it, and then I can just start that whole process of saving seeds and recycling. Um, but a lot of plants, the way that they are raised, um, and some of them being, modified genetically, the second generation of the plant won't reproduce or it'll be sterile. Uh, so I guess I'm going to find that out. And got some more green onion sprouts, but it also gives off really nice scents. It's beautiful. I mean, it smells completely different from something dried out. Um, and what's really good is if you like tomatoes, this is kind of like a spin on a BLT. Uh, you can take you can take tomato, give nice thick slices of it. Take some fresh basil, chop it up, and you know you can put some fresh cooked bacon on it, and then you just eat the slice with a little bit of bacon and the basil. It's really good. It's a really light breakfast if you don't like eating heavy in the morning, like I don't. I usually have coffee and a biscuit or coffee and oatmeal. Sometimes just a pot of coffee until I have to leave for the day. Uh, so yeah, it's not too bad. Just some simple stuff you can grow in an apartment, really anywhere. Got these nice little pots. These are pretty cool. Uh, yeah, just thought I'd share my day.